Hey guys, we are back at Starlight Drive-In, and today we're going to be building a scavenger home, complete with a couple of storage sheds as well as some scavenger workbenches. Now this turned out a little bit bigger than what I was expecting to build, but it looks great, and I can't wait to share it with you. So let's get started, shall we? Now we're going to start this off in the metal tab here, and I think it's going to make a cool little shed. Plus it'll be a nice contrast to all the wood that we have here in Starlight. Now this is the first time that I'm actually using the Place Everywhere mod, and it was brought up in the comments of the last video, and yeah, I don't know why I wasn't using it before, but I'm definitely going to be using it from here on out. It's amazing. You can see here I'm able to just grab a hold of this prefab and put it in place without using the pillar. And that's probably my favorite part about the mod there is once you place something, if you're putting it near something else, you don't have to worry about the select all glitch selecting everything. You can just pick up what you need and move it around. It's really awesome. So now we have to plug up the hole that's in between that shed and the farm here. And I figured I'd use one of these half buses. Comes with the Homemaker mod, I believe. And I figured it'd make a great entryway to the Scavver home, as well as, you know, a little lounge area, some storage. Just a matter of getting it so it's not clipping with the shed there. It is going to clip with the wood from the farm there a little bit, but that's okay. We can cover that up. Just want to get it lined up right. Now I do leave it floating here, but I will sink that down before the tour. And yeah, looks pretty good. So I was debating using the containers here for any structures, but I took a look around Starlight, and there's actually a turned over flatbed trailer behind the arena there that has a few of the shipping containers just kind of laid about. So I figured it'd be pretty easy for them to drag one over here, and or even drag a couple of them over here and use them as structures. So that's what we did. So this comes from a mod, I believe it's box houses, and I used it in my Oberland Station barracks, and you know, just placing it on there. And I'm actually going to leave the front part of this open, and well, we're going to close that off here in a second, and you'll see. I think it ends up looking pretty bombed out, and it really fits the theme of this build. I went ahead and moved the container a little bit and sunk it down some, and the grass started sticking through the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the floor with a bunch of these quarter floors, I guess, from the wood tab, and it just looks a little bit better with grass sticking through them. They're missing some boards, and there's plywood put on top. Just ends up looking a little more realistic. So you can see there, you know, you have the grass sticking through, but they're all partial boards, so it looks fine. So now we have to close off part of this wall, and we're actually going to go ahead and use some of the warehouse tab here. And I love these partial walls that are kind of ripped apart. I figured they could, you know, drag a messed up trailer here and then just repair it with whatever they were able to find. And it ends up looking really junky. So the gap between the container and the bus there is just too wide. So we're going to go ahead and put another trailer on here just to kind of narrow in that entryway a little bit. And it'll actually allow us to use this second container here as a, you know, a small house. Just going to snap this all together. And I'm going to leave the front of it open just so we have a way to get into it. And I figured, you know, it could just be another damaged container, just like the one that's sitting next to it. So you can see I missed one wall there, and I can't get this one to snap in for some reason. It just would not go. I see it's sunk back there a little bit. Yeah, not 100% sure why that is, but luckily they have these half walls that just snap right into place, so it ends up looking good. Another great benefit of the Place Everywhere mod, I can actually build a stairway from the top down. So you can see I have a bent ply board there, Plus, put a little wood floor down just to give us a little platform so we can slide the rest of the stairway underneath that. And, yeah, just adjusting it just a little bit, and looks pretty good. So I cannot get these stairs to snap on. That ply board is getting in the way. Luckily, it's easy enough to just grab a hold of it and move it out of the way. Yeah. See, look at that. Just wouldn't go in. Snap it right on and then replace the ply board. I really love those ply boards. The bent ones, they're just great. They make these really cool ramps, and you don't have to use the stairs everywhere. I know, it makes it a little bit more realistic, I think. Plus, it just looks great. Look at that. For the platform that we're going to have the stairs, resting on, we're going to go ahead and use some cars stacked up, because, of course we will. This is Starlight, and all of these builds seem to involve a car somehow. Can't have a floating truck, so we're going to have to go ahead and slide another car underneath there. Now, I really love these flat cars there. They slot in there really nicely. Now, it does clip a little bit, but I figure the weight of the truck would eventually kind of bend it into the other car. Now it's just a matter of getting into the truck bed. So we're going to go ahead and use another one of these small stairs, and with place everywhere, we can just slot it into place and then just make sure we can walk up it. Perfect. Now, I wasn't going to actually put some supports for that board, but the more I looked at it, the more it bothered me. So I'm going to have to go ahead and grab these from the barn tab and just slot those in there just so it looks a little supported, and use the smaller ones because it actually fits inside of the truck. Well, you can see that there, and just a matter of lining it up right and keeping my OCD in check. Add another one in there and ends up looking nice and supported. Just have to add a few finishing touches and then we'll be ready for the tour. Now there's this lounge area here above the housing area, and I just want to add some railings there to keep people from falling off, and adds a little bit of protection. Not a whole lot of protection. I mean, they are just wood railings, but place everywhere actually allows me to not have to use select all with the ashtray, and just have to put it where I want, make sure it doesn't clip too much, and looks good. So in an attempt to not overuse the railings and kind of vary that texture a little bit, we're going to go ahead and use these really tall junk fences from the Homemaker mod instead of the railings. And they're tall enough that they can go up against the trailer here and still act, as a railing. And plus it adds a little bit of extra support with those beams sticking off the sides. Nice. So here we go with the tour. And you can see there that staircase looks great. I went ahead and added some sandbags there just to, make it look a little bit more realistic. Like there's extra supports there. Put a little junk wall there to cover up some of the clipping. Here we have a scavenger workbench, or workstation, I guess. That comes from, wow, geez, what mod is that from? Northland Diggers. It actually produces scrap, and settlers will randomly walk by and start using it. And you can see here's that shed. And again, I used some junk walls and some floors from the warehouse tab to kind of make a little shelf in there. And I figured, the guy who lives here, he's out collecting, scrap from the wasteland, brings it here, processes it, and repairs weaponry and whatnot. Now, in the bus here, we have a little relaxing area. You can see here, Nuka Cola, of course. Gotta love your roots, and a bunch of chems there. And again, definitely my favorite chair. I love the ghoul chair. It's pretty awesome. And of course, we have a little teddy bear driver there. Gotta love the Raider sense of humor. Got some more storage here and some alcohol and chems. And we have some paint here. This is a pack-themed home, so they gotta paint their weapons. So you can see here, this half bus makes a great entryway, and it comes right out into the hill there. And of course, since this is an entrance, we have a little bit of security with a turret there and some heads on some spikes. And, you know, wouldn't be a raider settlement without some hanging bodies. Just as a warning, this is not an area that's safe. I really love the way that bus kind of makes a tunnel for an entryway. That just looks really good. You just go down the stairs on into the settlement. Now heading down here, we have the rest of the little area. There's a better look at that workstation there. You can see the extra sandbags that I put in between the two cars. Now here we have another scavenger workstation. This one produces, I believe it's nuclear material. Now I definitely want to do something with that wall there, so leave a comment below if you have any ideas of what to do with that little rock face. Now here is that home we built earlier, and you can see the Nuka-Cola curtain there for a little bit of privacy, and of course the tools of the scavenger trade. Got your pack flag up there and some chems on the table. You know, raiders do love their chems. Now that bed there is from a mod, Thematic and Practical. That's one of my favorite mods. It's just great. They have a lot of kind of junky furniture and whatnot. You can see a pack weapon on the wall there. Now over here we have our ammo shed. You can see those warehouse walls ended up looking really well. And I really like the tin can chimes. And I figured, you know, you set up this little workshop area here. You can make some ammo, and you have paint cans on the floor there for painting up any of the weapons. Of course, there's more ammo on the shelves here. Now this workbench from Northland Diggers actually produces ammo. So you just, you can assign someone to it and then come back every few days and have more ammo, you know, ready for you to use. Now it doesn't put it in the main workbench, so you will have to collect it. And it only produces a certain amount, so you do have to remember to come by and collect them, but it also looks really cool. Now here the staircase. This is probably my favorite part of this build. I just love the way it turned out. You can walk up it without any problem. I don't know about the pathing for the ply board there, but it does look cool. So you can see there's a bunch of storage up here, more components and a bunch of ammo. So we have two main lounge areas over here, both consisting of Thematic and Practical furniture. You can see these guys have been drinking some beer and a little bit of Jet for their checkers game. Don't know why you would need Jet to play checkers, but you know, I guess if you're addicted, you're addicted. And then over here we have a couch, a little bit of food laid out, Nuka-Cola of course. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. Leave a comment if you have any questions or any ideas for me. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to be notified when my next video goes live. It should be here at Starlight, or it could be over at Oberland for my Minuteman build. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and until then, enjoy your time in the Commonwealth.